Angela, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you hearing me?
I am now. We are live. Are we live?
Yeah, I'm seeing you on YouTube.
Nice.
Just a reminder to make me co-host.
Yes. Good evening, Tyrese. Good evening, Tyrese. How are you? Where are you joining us from? All right, we are officially live on YouTube as well. All right, Tobago's in the house. Welcome, welcome. So we're just waiting a little bit, about 5 minutes or so. It's now 7 o'clock, and we're just waiting a bit for a couple more persons to join, to allow persons to join, and we will begin by between 5 past and 10 past 7. Good evening. We have somebody else joining us. Daniel, how are you, Daniel? Where are you joining us from? Good evening. Right, nice, welcome. Which part of Trinidad? South, north, south, east, west, central? Where exactly? I'm multitasking, so if it is a notice. Northwest Trinidad is where we're. What city is considered northwest? Port of Spain. Welcome, nonetheless, guys. Tyrese, Danielle, by all means, feel free to send out the invite to some of your classmates, etc., the persons that studying Spanish. As I was saying before, we will join shortly, and by about 10 past latest, we will start. Sorry. So yeah, go ahead and send out those invites. Let's make it an interactive and engaging session. All right. So this is everybody's first time around. I'll try with the Spanish, or we have any repeaters in the mix. Everybody's in Form 5, correct? All right, nice. Tyrese, what school do you attend? Let me guess. Bishops? No, Bishops is like the most famous school. All right, wrong guess for me. Wrong guess. What school you attend in Tobago though? Signal Hill by AKA Compre. All right, nice. What about you, Daniel? So big up Compre in your house. I feel like almost everybody that I know from Tobago went to Compre, at least my age thereabouts. Holy name, nice. Welcome, Daniel. You all mind sharing as well who would have shared with you all the invite to come on? Okay, nice. Thank God for those mummies. Big up the mummies, Andy. I know I sent out to some of my teacher friends as well, so I know that some persons may have received it through that now. All right. All righty then. Angelique, I don't think I don't think that's the correct one. When I went in it, I saw some shots with somebody doing some dances. The person is definitely not you. Right, in about 2 more minutes, we begin. So y'all give me some feedback. How y'all feeling as exams are near? Lionel Clement, all right. Yeah, some feedback. Tired of life. Well, as I say to my students, in a couple months, you will have so much free time that you will do every single conceivable thing you want to do with your holidays, and you'll still find time for boredom. So, don't stress too much over that. Just take it in stride and go through the process. You know, some persons based on religion, they might naturally have downtime, you know, on the Sabbath, that sort of stuff. But make sure you have your down day where it is you just chill out or whatever is the case. Like one day where you know you're not doing, or a couple hours at evening where you know you're doing nothing and you just de-stress. You think about no work, that kind of thing. Yeah. That's extremely important because you know at the end of the day we're not robots. We need to reboot. So yeah. All right, let us begin. Let us begin with our lesson for today. And by all means, if it is, you know, anybody else that interested, anybody else that should be here from your class, etc. Remember, this is a free resource. Every year we actually do it for students. Since COVID hit in 2020, wow, this is going on 3 years already. So since the beginning, we have been doing this. Some free classes for students leading up to exams. As a matter of fact, even before COVID, because I would have started in January, at the National Library doing this. So this is my way of giving back. So by all means, guys, if you know persons that will be interested, invite them to join, send the information to them. And for the following weeks as well, we're going to do the same. I didn't hear out Lionel. I'm seeing a Lionel Clement in the Zoom as well. Persons that are on YouTube, by all means, remember, you all could come on the Zoom. You could come on board via the Zoom link so that you could ask your questions directly. Yeah, it will be more engaging and stuff like that. So, without further ado, ladies and gents, let us begin with our lesson for today. Nice. So, welcome to our study group session. Yeah. So I don't know how many of you all are already on the Discord. We also have a Discord whereby, we also have a Discord group where it is we are also sending daily study material. As a teacher, one of the main issues I realize is that many times students don't know exactly how to study for Spanish, exactly where to go for the material to study. And this is the reason why I created a study group. Basically, now leading up to exams, we'll be posting material daily. Daily from Monday to Saturday, we'll be posting material that can assist you in your studies. Is basically a guide for you. And it is done in such a way so that you can build. You're reviewing stuff from before. You're preparing based on what you're supposed to be doing. We're doing past paper questions or past paper type things, type of difficulty. And additionally, we also we would also be fielding any questions, etc. Yeah. So if you're not on the Discord as yet, this is the plug again for you to join our Discord, and you could follow with us there and get some daily material to learn. Nice. So let's begin the lesson. Vamos a empezar con la lección hoy. Y en la clase de hoy tenemos unos objetivos. Pues vamos a identificar de manera oral, speaking, pues vamos a hablar sobre el asunto, right? So we're going to identify orally cómo formamos, cómo conjugamos en el presente, yeah? The formation and the uses of the present tense in Spanish. También vamos a aprender cómo describir a personas en general en español y también cómo describir a los miembros de nuestra familia. So we're also going to learn about how we describe persons, generally giving a description of persons, and also describing family members in particular, yeah? We are going to learn how to write and speak about family relations as well. So we're going to learn some key words, some key vocabulary that would help us with this, speaking about family relations. You know, CXC likes to ask you, ¿quién es tu persona favorita en tu familia? ¿Por qué? Who is your favorite person in your family? ¿Quién es la persona que no te gusta, person that you don't like in your family? This is one of those less straightforward questions that they like to ask. And when I say less straightforward, from the perspective of is not asking you something that is closed-ended. How many persons in your family and who are they? You can go ahead and list that, yeah? So we're going to learn how to expand our expression in the language in this way as well, right? So continuing, mira lo que tenemos aquí. Look at what we have here, la familia Weeks. ¿Sí? Pues, ¿quiénes son los miembros de esta familia? Tenemos, pues, claro que sí, yo. Este jovencito tan guapo, tan guavísimo. Right? So this handsome young man here was me many, many years ago when I was like all the age and stage, CSEC level, yeah. So that is your boy, Senior Weeks. We also have, what else we have in this picture? Tenemos a mi papá. Este es mi padre. Sí, este es mi padre, él se llama Michael. Tenemos a mi mamá también, esta es mi madre. Mis dos hermanitos, mi hermano menor, my younger brother, y mi hermano mayor, my older brother. También aquí tenemos a mi hermana mayor. Pues yo tengo dos hermanas mayores y la otra hermana mayor aquí también, ¿ok? Y somos la familia Weeks. Pues, there's a new Weeks family because I have my family as well. But, you know, back in the day when I was all the age and stage, this is the home that I was a part of. This is my family, yeah? Nice. So, we went through some family relations there. For the persons that are in the Discord group already, the study group, you would know, you would see that we went through some of this vocabulary and family members, that sort of stuff. So this is not new to us, right? Presently speaking, I'm talking about right now. We want to talk about something right now. El tiempo presente, the present tense. We all know the present tense in Spanish. But really and truly, when exactly do we use the present tense in Spanish? You would have learned by now that we have three types of verbs in Spanish. We have verbs that end in AR, verbs that end in ER, and verbs that end in IR. We know this since form when we meet in this, yeah? And when we're talking about changing these verbs to express something that is happening in the present or current time, when exactly will we find ourselves using this, yeah? So, habitual actions. Once you're talking about habitual actions, we know we use the present tense. Actions that are customary as part of our daily routine. Hint, hint. Daily routine, once we're talking about anything in daily routine, you know, we're talking about the present tense, right? So habitual actions, for example, todos los domingos asisto la iglesia con mi familia. Todos los domingos asisto la iglesia con mi familia. Every Sunday I go to church with my family. And we see the conjugation in the present tense here. Drop the AR and add O to express it as I am doing this. I attend church. So for habitual actions, we use the present tense. We also use the present tense for actions that happen every day, and to distinguish, it may not be part of a routine specifically, as we saw in the last point, but it's something that would generally happen from day to day. Trabajo para la compañía eléctrica. I work for the electric company, yeah? It's something that is happening at this stage in your life, yeah? So speaking about everyday things that are a feature of the current stage of your life, we speak about those in the present tense. Trabajo para la compañía eléctrica. I work for the electric company. And finally, We could also use the present tense when you want to speak about an action in the near future. You know, you're looking forward to go and do something. Today is Wednesday, for example, and you're going to be, you think you might go to the cinema, you think you might go to the park, so we could express that as well. Voy al parque. Voy al parque. It could be this weekend, or it could be in a little bit, you know, it's holiday time and on an afternoon back in the day when I was a youth, you know, back in the day, certain time of the day, you know, we playing football on the road. So let's say you have a friend, a family member, a cousin come over by you, and you know 4 o'clock is approaching. That's the time when the football starts. So you say the football takes place in the park. You say to your family member, your cousin, yo voy al parque. I go into the park. ¿Vienes conmigo? You coming with me? Voy al parque. ¿Vienes conmigo? So these are all times when we use the present tense in Spanish. Yeah? So we continue. Now, before we continue, I just want to check in with you all. For the persons that we have so far, you can use the emojis. Let me get a thumbs up emoji if you're hearing me loud and clear. So what we're going to do now, we're going to look at a video together. Nice, we hear each other loud and clear. Perfect. We're going to look at a video together. And in this video, a specific thing is happening. In this video, what is happening is that we're seeing persons describing each other, right? You're making descriptions of persons, and we're trying to figure out, they're trying to guess, what is he talking about? I think I know this person is talking about, right? We have a bit of humor in it, of course, as always, right? So I want you to look at the video, get your notepad, your notebook, etc. ready with your pen or pencil, and you're listening out specifically for the adjectives, those words that describe any person. So see if it is you could pick up as many adjectives as possible. You're trying to make as long a list as possible, right? So we're moving into that activity now. Everybody's hearing me loud and clear, so that is perfect. 1 second. Nice, let us go straight into the video.
Hola.
Make sure you hear me loud and clear. Nice, yes, you all should be hearing the audio and the video as well, loud and clear, right? So, pens, pencils ready, let's go. Writing down as many adjectives as we can hear in the video.
Hola. ¿Qué tal? Yo soy Jaime y este es mi videoblog Habla con Jaime. Hoy es mi primer día y tengo un juego para vosotros. Mis amigos y yo describimos a una persona. ¿Quién es esa persona? ¿Un amigo? ¿El profesor de matemáticas? ¿Un primo? ¿Estáis preparados? Bienvenidos a mi videoblog Habla con Jaime. Tiene los ojos marrones, tiene el pelo rubio y largo. Es una persona divertida, generosa, sociable. ¿Quién es? ¿Martina? ¿Luis Alberto? ¿O Sara? ¿Martina? No. Martina es generosa, sociable y divertida, pero no tiene el pelo rubio. La respuesta correcta es... Sara, mi amiga y compañera de clase.
Ahora yo. Es bastante inteligente. Tiene el pelo largo. Tiene los ojos marrones. Es delgada y lleva gafas. Es generosa y solidaria. ¿Quién es? ¿Mi madre? ¿Mi vecina? ¿O mi profesora de matemáticas? Os doy una pista. Es muy atractiva.
¿Tu madre?
¿Mi madre?
Tu madre es inteligente y es atractiva.
¿Mi madre es atractiva?
Es bastante linda.
La respuesta correcta es mi vecina.
Tu vecina no es guapa. No es fea, pero...
¿No es atractiva?
No es muy atractiva. Inteligente sí, y amable y simpática. ¡No!
Cada persona tiene un ideal. Mi compañero ideal es inteligente, simpático, cariñoso, protector, fiel, atlético, con ojos azules y pelo blanco.
¿Pelo blanco?
¿Es un hombre mayor?
¿Muy mayor?
Es un husky, mi perro ideal.
¿Y vuestra compañía ideal cómo es? Nos vemos pronto, amigos.
Ajá. Dime qué piensan ustedes. Let me get some feedback from you all. You could feel free to write in the Zoom chat, that's fine. But how was that? Before we even go into the different names that we heard, yes, Daniel is saying they spoke really fast. Now, if need be, I have no problem going over again with you, all right? But before we think, they spoke really fast, yes? And that's deliberate, right? One of the things that I try and do with my students all the time is let them get accustomed to hearing the language spoken by native speakers. At Quintessential, we hire native speaker tutors as well to assist with the oral aspect of the classes. But this is deliberate because trust and believe, if it is you can pick up and gain the confidence listening to a native speaker, when you reach in your exam with the local non-native speaker, it will be way easier, yeah? Separate and apart from understanding them really well, you would have the confidence to speak. So, let me hear from some of the others. Daniel said they spoke really fast. Anybody else? Now I left the subtitles on to assist us. We're going to listen to it a second time, and we'll add any words that we may have missed out, that sort of stuff. Yeah? The subtitles help nice. Only 6 you got to list. 6 is a lot, Tyrese. Right? But all you complaining and all you got plenty. Nice. What about Lionel? Leo, you have a famous name there, sir. In a couple of years, there'll be many more Lionels. Lionel, what about you? Anything you want to share with us? Nice. Okay. All right, let's listen to it a second time, and we're going to see if we could add any to that list, yeah? So we listen a second time to add to the list. Oh, sorry, no. I am not looking at the YouTube stream. Oh, you're writing all the answers there, man. Well done. Okay, I'm now seeing Joshua Lalande in the YouTube stream. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for your feedback, Lionel. We're going to listen to it a second time, and this time we're going to see if we could pick up any words we'd have missed out, right? And then I have a specific activity for us. Well, I see Lionel can take front and do the activity already, but we will look at it just now.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Yo soy Jaime y este es mi videoblog Habla con Jaime. Hoy es mi primer día y tengo un juego para vosotros. Mis amigos y yo describimos a una persona. ¿Quién es esa persona? ¿Un amigo? ¿El profesor de matemáticas? ¿Un primo? ¿Estáis preparados? Bienvenidos a mi videoblog Habla con Jaime. Tiene los ojos marrones. Tiene el pelo rubio y largo. Es una persona divertida, generosa, sociable. ¿Quién es? ¿Martina? ¿Luis Alberto? ¿O Sara? ¿Martina? No. Martina es generosa, sociable y divertida, pero no tiene el pelo rubio. La respuesta correcta es... Sara, mi amiga y compañera de clase.
Ahora yo. Es bastante inteligente. Tiene el pelo largo, tiene los ojos marrones. Es delgada y lleva gafas. Es generosa y solidaria. ¿Quién es? ¿Mi madre? ¿Mi vecina? ¿O mi profesora de matemáticas? Os doy una pista. Es muy atractiva.
¿Tu madre?
¿Mi madre?
Tu madre es inteligente y es atractiva.
¿Mi madre es atractiva?
Es bastante linda.
La respuesta correcta es mi vecina.
Tu vecina no es guapa. No es fea, pero...
¿No es atractiva?
No es muy atractiva. Inteligente sí, y amable y simpática. ¡No!
Cada persona tiene un ideal. Mi compañero ideal es inteligente, simpático, cariñoso, protector, fiel, atlético, con ojos azules y pelo blanco.
¿Pelo blanco?
¿Es un hombre mayor?
¿Muy mayor?
Es un...
Okay, dime. I see that my brethren Lionel already do exactly what I was going to ask you all to do. Slightly different though. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back here into the bear with me. We're going to go back into the slide, the PowerPoint slide I was going to say. Right, and look here, we have a link for you all to click on, Answer Garden. Let us see the list of vocabulary that you got, right? You could enter as many as you like. What I would say to do is with each word, you click enter, and then you add another one. You go back and add another one, right? You click on the link again and add another one. So we're taking 2 minutes, and you're writing down for me as many of the words that you would have heard. The words to describe persons in the video. So you'll do that for me. We have until 7:35, thereabouts. Let me see what we come up with. Just to give an idea, I'm seeing that Lionel already has some in the chat actually. Rubio, largo. Rubio y largo, generosa, sociable. Yeah, divertida. But I want to see exactly how many of us heard some of the same things. So let us see. You're writing it on the link here, the Answer Garden. Let me show you exactly what I'm speaking about. So 2 persons son inteligente, amable, fea, generoso, sociable, marrón, atractivo, simpática, rubio. 16, largo, divertido. Yeah? Keep them coming in. You're writing them on the Answer Garden on the link that we sent, yeah? Nice, we have some more coming in. Rubio, cariñoso, atractivo, fea. So the one that we remember the most was inteligente, and I see we have the correct spelling of it as well, right? So remember, inteligente, 1 L alone is a common error that many students make. They double the L as in English, but in Spanish, just 1 L alone. Inteligente, amable, generoso, sociable, atractivo. Just a little typo happening here. Feo, divertido, blanco. Yeah? You all remember what blanco was used to describe? Sociable, bastante linda. Nice. So you all did excellent on this actually. Protector. Anybody remembers what Blanca was used to describe? Blanco or Blanca? I'm seeing it somewhere here. Remember from the video? Okay, we have one response. White. But what was described as white? You remember? Did anybody pick up that? All right, it was the husky. Yeah, the husky was described as white. That's the description given for the dog, right? So the most heard word was inteligente. And we have tie for second, well, not a tie for second place. In second place, cariñoso was the word that was heard the most. Then we have simpática, sociable, rubio, largo, and atractivo. Those were the words that were heard the third most. Nice. So well done, guys. Well done, well done. Here's walking. But let us now look at this, right? Let us look at how they go about describing persons. One of the things, I don't know if you all notice it, you can let me know in the chat if you notice it, but the verb ser was used a lot. The verb ser, which means to be, yeah? So, soy sociable, divertido e inteligente. Eres muy hablador, pero muy amable. Habladora, sorry. Sara es bastante inteligente. Somos atléticos y fuertes. Son gemelos traviesos. Yeah? I am very sociable, fun, and intelligent. You are talkative, but nice, pleasant. Sarah is quite intelligent. We are athletic and strong, and they are mischievous twins. So we see examples here of how the verb ser is used with the adjectives to describe person. And actually, once we give in a description of somebody in Spanish, this is the most important verb that we're going to meet. The verb ser is the predominant verb that is used when we describing persons. And once again, you notice it's used in the present tense. So tying back into what we did previously with the present tense, we're speaking about the general state of somebody that doesn't change. It always happens, it is current. So once you're talking about somebody's physical attributes, their personality attributes, this is how the person is on any given day, we're speaking in the present tense. So we use ser in the present tense, yeah? Soy sociable, divertido e inteligente. Eres hablador. So soy, eres, es, somos, son. We highlighted that as well for you to see, yeah? But there's something else occurring here. We saying soy sociable, etc. means I am sociable, fun, and inteligente, and intelligent. And I'm sure you'd have learned that and in Spanish, sorry, is E, the letter Y. But something occurs when it says we have the same song, the E song, following the letter Y in Spanish. And you notice I said song there. In the description here, I have a word that begins with the letter I, but it's really the song, the sound I, the E song, because if you have a word beginning with H, or it begins with the letter H, the first song that is pronounced is the I song. For example, los pulmones pulmones e hígados son órganos del cuerpo humano. Listen to that sentence, and I'm going to write it in the chat for us to see as well. Pulmones e hígados son órganos humanos. Lungs and livers are human organs. So we have an example here of a word that does not begin with the letter I, but because the letter I, or the I sound is the first sound at the beginning of the word, we will we change the Y to E, to the letter E, right? And that is because, as we know, The H is silent in Spanish. So the letter Y, or the word and in Spanish, changes to the letter E, A, when it is a word where the E sound, where the I sound comes after. Nice? Everybody understands? If it is, you're not too sure exactly what I'm talking about with that description, with that example, you could let me know. Yeah? Let me know. I'll be happy to explain it again for you all, for anybody. Pulmones e hígados son órganos humanos. We have soy sociable, divertido e inteligente. Nice. So everybody's good with that explanation. So we're moving forward. Another very important verb when it is we are describing persons. No problem, Tyrese. I now seen your message coming through, right? What I'm saying, Tyrese, is that the letter Y in Spanish, which is pronounced E, is equal to the English word and. I repeat, the letter Y in Spanish, which is pronounced E, is equal to the word and, or translates as the English word and. However, when it is, we have the word and in Spanish, E, the letter Y, having a word coming after that begins with the letter I, for example, as we see here, divertido, well, fun and intelligent. Usually we'd have put the letter Y, divertido y inteligente. However, because the word that comes after and, inteligente, begins with the letter I, or the I sound, we don't want to have E inteligente. We want to separate the two songs. So in order to separate the two songs, we change the letter Y, which is the word and, we change that to the letter E. So to read, soy sociable, divertido e inteligente. Yeah? And this is a trend, this is something that happens in Spanish to separate the songs, right? To differentiate between one song and another. We find other instances where things like this happen, of course. So look out for those as well. Nice? And I went to make the point further that it's not only when it begins with the letter I, the word begins with the letter I, but is more specifically the I sound. Because you could have a word that begins with the letter H-I, and because the H is silent, we will hear the I sound first. And in an instance like that as well, we do the same thing, right? Change the letter Y, which is pronounced E, we change it to the letter E, which is pronounced A. I know the vowel songs and the English letters could be a bit confusing sometimes. So, yeah. Another very common verb that we have when we describing persons in Spanish, family members, anybody at all, your favorite celebrity, whoever it is, once we are describing persons, another very important verb is the verb tener. Tengo, tienes, tiene, tenemos, tienen, right? And we use the verb tener when you want to describe specific features of the person, especially facial features, right? So yo tengo los ojos marrones y el pelo corto. I have brown eyes and short hair. So you see the things in green are the body parts highlighted, and in yellow, those are the adjectives to describe the body part, right? So tengo los ojos marrones y el pelo corto. I have brown eyes and short hair. ¿Tienes los ojos marrones? Or rather, that's not a question. Tú tienes los ojos marrones. You have brown eyes. Isabel tiene el pelo largo y rubio. So we saw in the video as well, when they were describing the other persons, describing the neighbor, etc., the husky, the verb tiene was used. Tiene el pelo largo. Isabel has long and blonde hair. Tiene el pelo largo y rubio. Mi madre y yo tenemos las caras redondas. My mom and I have round faces. Mi madre y yo tenemos las caras redondas. My mom and I has round faces. And finally, Todos los varones en mi familia tienen un bigote. All of the men, all of the gentlemen in my family have a... What is un bigote? Un bigote is a mustache, una barba is a beard, right? I'll write that in the chat again for persons I may not know. Un bigote is a mustache. I'm gonna get my English spelling correct. And una barba is equal to a beard. Nice. Un bigote o una barba. Oh my, yes, that is a typo. I apologize. Thanks for pointing that out, Chloe. It's tenemos, not tenenos. That is actually a typo. So let me fix that one time. Tenemos. Nice. Thanks for that. So todos los varones, mi madre y yo tenemos las caras redondas. Nice. My mom and I have round faces. Some very key verbs. When it is we're talking about describing persons in Spanish, some key verbs that we could use to describe relationship with persons. And those verbs are llevarse, bien, or mal con, to get on well, bien, or to get on bad, mal, with, right? Llevarse bien o mal con, to get on well or bad with somebody. Pelear, to fight, and quejarse, to complain. So let's look at these examples in the sentences. Me llevo bien con mi hermano menor. I get on well with my younger brother, pero me llevo mal con mi hermana. But I don't get on well with my sister. Ella es fastidiosa. She's annoying. Yeah? Me llevo bien con mi hermano. I get on well with my brother, with my younger brother, pero me llevo mal con mi hermana. But I don't get on well. I get on bad with I don't have a good relationship. I don't get on well with my sister, right? Pelear, to fight. Pelear, to fight. Mi hermano y yo siempre peleamos cuando nuestros padres no están en casa. My brother and I, we always fight when our parents are not at home. Side note, en casa means at home, right? So the preposition in, the word in, actually means at when used with casa, house, right? So we have the word for house, we have the word for house, la casa. We have the word for home, el hogar. And to say at home in Spanish is a different phrase. En casa. Nice? So just a point to stick in there. So mi hermano y yo siempre peleamos. My brother and I, we always fight. And finally, quejarse. Mi tía se queja de todo. Mi tía se queja de todo. Right? My aunt always complains about everything. Or my aunt complains about everything. Might ask you a question for your oral exams. ¿Quién es tu persona favorita en tu familia y por qué? Mi hermana es mi persona favorita porque nunca peleamos. My sister's my favorite person because we never fight. Or porque no peleamos because we don't fight. Or porque nos llevamos bien because we get along well. Right? So remember those. And of course, all of these will be made available for you. You'll have the video on YouTube to go and look at. You could go into don't forget to join our study group on Discord. The notes will be posted there. These PowerPoints are we going through. And of course, we have some additional work for you to work on, right? So you can continue working on the topic by doing the exercise on the link. It's live worksheets. It will give you the answer as well. All right. So it auto corrects at the end of the exercise. So by all means, nice. And of course, we have a full list of study material from this week. You're going on the Discord study group and you can get the full list of this. These are the links, and I'm going to click and go into the links. But as I said, Monday to Saturday, we posting daily study material. I started off the class by saying one of the issues that students have to do in Spanish is they don't know exactly how to approach it, right? With POB, you learn your notes, right? And you know the different topics. With, like you say, mathematics, you know the different topics, and you have a ton of practice exercises in your book, etc. But many times persons don't know exactly how to study for Spanish. We are guiding you in this study group with your Spanish studies towards your CSEC exams, yeah? So every day we post in a little. We understand persons doing 8 and 10 and plus subjects. So we're not overwhelming you with the Spanish. It's a little bit every single day so that your improvement compounds, right? Your knowledge in the language compounds over the period of time from now till exams. You get better and you improve. Nice, we're moving on. So quiz time. You all want to do a quiz together? If you have ever been in any of my classes, you know that I love a quiz. So let's test the knowledge of our let's test the knowledge of your family members in Spanish. We're going to do a quiz now on family members in Spanish. So let me see. We'll have the link posted in a bit. Nice. So if you're on quizzes already, whether you're on quizzes already or not, you can go join. Right? If you're not on quizzes, if you go into the site, there's a section where you could just join the quiz and add. I don't think you need to be need to have an actual account in order to be able to do that, yeah? So you all go join up. The link was posted in the chat as well. Waiting for participants to join. Let's see. All right, Lionel is there. Where's Tyrese? Where's Daniel? All right. Nice. We're getting more persons coming for comments. Chloe, where are you joining us from? What country? You could even tell us the school if you like to. You can message in the Zoom chat. Chloe and Lionel from Trinidad. Well, I know Joshua. I believe that is Joshua Lala, one of my students. Welcome, Joshua. Thanks for joining. Okay. You doing CSEC exams this year, Lionel? Okay, nice. Well, this is a nice intro to it for you. Nice. Anybody else want to join? We're gonna start. Yes, that's exactly what you need to do. Get as much practice as possible. So we're gonna start in 10 seconds. We're gonna start. If anybody else had to join, you have to join in that time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empezamos ya. Let's begin. Ya, next countdown. 2, 1. Vamos. So let's see who leading. All right, we have Chloe in the lead, followed by Lionel, Daniel just behind. Let's see who can overtake Chloe. All right, we have Daniel overtaking Chloe, but Lionel is right behind. All right, Tyrese making his way up the board as well. I'm seeing our comments. Is that my student? When you finish your quiz, you can let me know. Lionel is in the lead. Let's see if you will get La Victoria. Como Leo. Okay, Leo en front. Leo, ahora Chloe. Chloe está liderándonos. Vamos a ver si alguien la puede vencer o no. Ok, Chloe sigue adelantando. Ahora tenemos pues, Leo está muy cerca, pero Daniel, ¿qué puede hacer Daniel? Daniel está perdiendo puntos. Chloe sigue adelantando, sin mirar a nadie pues, detrás de ella. Daniel is there now. Daniel, let's see if you could overtake Chloe. Is there anybody that could come and overtake Chloe? Right now, Chloe look like if she and Glenn got a lead at all. All right. Comments make me proud if that is my student. Them girls and them leading the pack. You have Chloe in first, Daniel in third. Let's see if any of the gentlemen could come on the throne. Whew. Looks like Chloe has won, guys. Chloe, you finished? Yes, nice. So Chloe is in the lead with 10,940 points. I don't know if anybody will be able to dethrone her by points. Let's wait until the last numbers are in, the last persons are in. Oh, this is Joshua Cummins, not Lala. Let me know. Message it. Yes, nice. I saw Lala in the YouTube chat, but this is Cummins in the Zoom chat. Almost, Daniel, almost. Yeah, so let's see the tally. Now, sometimes somebody might finish first, and if the person that was second is a close second, the points, they might actually win on points, huh? So let us see. Everybody has finished now. What is the leaderboard looking like? In first place, we have third place, Lionel, second place, Joshua, and in first place, Chloe. Chloe, as we grow week upon week, let's see if you could maintain your winning streak. Yeah? So well done. Un fuerte aplauso para Chloe. Muy bien, Chloe. Muy bien. Nice. The time is now. Let us go back to our screen. Any questions so far? We want to do one more thing before we end, but let me ask any questions so far. Anybody has any questions? All right, we have no questions, but we also have somebody confirming that they winning next week for sure. So Chloe, watch yourself. Might have some strong competition next week. Joshua coming for you. Nice. So we continuing. Let's move to the past papers now. We're going to work on, I'm going to answer a past paper for us. And what we're trying to do really and truly is to show you all exactly how you go about answering the past papers, how you should be answering your past papers. Your past paper questions, right? Competition in the building. Joshua thought it was him alone coming back for Chloe next week, but we have another person in the mix, another contender. Right, so watch yourself, Chloe. We have a lot gone in for your number one spot. Nice. So, We have a reading comprehension passage. I can't remember the year offhand. Nonetheless, if I remember, it might have been 2016, somewhere thereabouts. I've seen this story before, right? Nice. So we're going to do this, the reading comprehension exercise. How do you go about tackling the reading comprehension exercise? Now, first and foremost, where is this found? This is in the paper 2 of your exams, the reading comprehension, right? This is in the paper 2, the long paper. As we know, the paper 2 is the place where the majority of your marks towards your grade is counted. So you have to make sure and excel in this. And most importantly, I like to say, is that the reading comprehension exercise is one of the very few places where you could assure yourself of getting total marks, right? I'm not saying it's impossible to get total marks in the letter or in the contextual dialogue or in the situations, but because of the nature of the reading comprehension, whereby it is very finite answer, is a specific answer based on a specific word in the passage or a specific phrase in the passage, that they just have to know how to convert into English, right? So because it's so specific and it's not your own creative and personal expression in how you use the language in the letter or the contextual dialogue, etc., because of that, this is where we need to capitalize on the points, yeah? So let us go. A real love story. But before we even read the story, one of my students is here, and he will know I always say read the questions before we even attempt to read the story. Why are we doing this? The questions would tell us a couple of things. It will tell us what information specifically we need to look for in the passage, because let us face it, we don't know every single word in the English language, and we definitely will not know every single word in the Spanish language. More than likely, we're going to meet up things in this reading comprehension passage, words that we never saw before, right? Some persons have excellent memory with the vocabulary and stuff. Some persons need some extra work, need to do extra work. So let us admit that we know, and it's not being negative or anything, but we don't know every word in every single language or any languages that we know. So by doing these things, by looking at the title first and foremost, which is in English always, by the way, by reading the questions, we could know, all right, I'm looking for this information particularly, right? And also the mark scheme would tell us how many pieces of information are included in the passage that answers that question. Many times a student will see the mark scheme, 2 marks versus 4 marks, and say, well, oh good, it's 4 marks, I mean, I had to write real plenty, I had to fill up all the lines. Or you may see 2 marks and think, well, nah, I kind of had to write a little bit. Nothing could be further from the truth, right? The mark scheme is an indication of the specific pieces of information that you need to include in your answer. And those specific pieces of information may come in the form of a word. For example, they may ask you, how is this person described in the passage? And it may be 2 adjectives that describe the physical features, or it may be in the form of a phrase that contains specific information. 1 mark for this piece of information, another mark for that piece of information to make up the 2 marks, etc. Right? And as we go through, I have the answers here as well. As we go through the answers, we'll see exactly that. How the information, how the marks are assigned. It will be assigned for including these words or these phrases, etc. that answer the question. Nice? So let us begin by reading the questions. When did the relationship between these 2 begin? So we're looking for the beginning of a relationship, something talking about the beginning of a relationship. Explain the plans after leaving school. We're looking for some information in the passage that talks about plans and after school, right? And you could think about the keywords and phrases to describe these things, right? Relationship, relación, right? Plans, leaving high school, etc. School, escuela, right? What happened as a result? So this answer C is tied to what was said in B, most likely. And look at the mark scheme. So maybe 2 things in each one. What decision did they make? Might be two decisions. The decision might be comprised of two words or two pieces of information. What did Luisa do when she finished her studies? Aha. Finishing studies. You're looking for a word or phrase that talking about finishing studies. What kind of relationship did they continue? Okay. So, when did the relationship begin? What type of or what kind of relationship continue? More than likely, this has something to do with a change in the relationship. These are things we could infer so far just from reading the questions. We haven't read the passage yet. What happened when Carlitos returned home? Something happened to Carlos returning home. Okay, we're looking out for that. What did Carlitos give her after 3 months? Something was given to her. What did he say to her? Something was said. Right? So you could keywords give, dar, say, decir, conjugated, right? And explain the significance of the title. Now, this is very important, right? For the purposes of the Csec Spanish exam, paper 2, reading comprehension, you would always find where the questions are related to specific pieces of information contained in the story, in the passage. And then we always have a last question that is called an appreciative or an appreciative type question. And basically, this is where you are not specifically saying this was said in the passage or translating based on something that was said in the passage, but instead, I don't like that word translating, but you're not relating what was said in the passage in English, right? But instead, you are showing to the examiner, I appreciated this passage. I understood what happened in the passage. I understood why persons felt a certain way in the passage. I understand the feelings or the motivation behind a specific thing that was said in the passage or done in the passage. Even though the motivation or the etc. wasn't explicitly said, I understand it after reading the passage, right? So this is exactly what I need to show. Not necessarily relating XYZ happened, XYZ was said, but however, showing, displaying in your answer that I understood what took place, I appreciate what took place, right? So without further ado, let's go straight into the passage. I'll read it in Spanish, then translate in English for us. A real love story. I'm moving quickly, right? Because we over the time already. A real love story. Luisa y Carlito se conocían. Pause. I need to put in this disclaimer before I continue. I'm not trying to show for anything. And I will just want to remind persons that the way you might be hearing me reading is because of 21 consistent years of Spanish, right? So a real love story. You all hearing me? I see like my internet dropped a bit just now. You all hearing me now? Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, sorry. My internet dropped. I was just saying that don't feel daunted if you hear me reading and studying. Oh gosh, I need to improve my reading. Because senior week's reading X way and I know I can't read that way in Spanish. This is a result of 21 consistent years of studying the language, passing through all the levels from Csec, Cape University, and even doing other courses in Spanish after having a degree in Spanish already, right? So don't be daunted and don't compare yourself. I'm just making sure and say that. And I'm saying this because I've heard and seen it happen in the past with students, right? So let us begin. A real love story. Luisa y Carlitos se conocían desde muy jóvenes. Su relación comenzó cuando Carlitos acompañara al baile de graduación de su escuela. Era el último año de sus estudios y pronto los dos irían a estudiar medicina. Ella en Estados Unidos y él en Cuba. A causa de estar en países diferentes, la relación empezó a deteriorarse, even so makes mistakes, deteriorarse y decidieron que no podían continuar una relación a larga distancia. Al terminar sus estudios, Luisa regresó a su país y empezó a trabajar en el Hospital General. A Carlitos todavía le faltaba un año. Continuaron una relación por correspondencia, pero como amigos. Al terminar, Carlitos también regresó a su país y fue a trabajar en el mismo hospital que Luisa. Empezaron a salir juntos otra vez y era como si nunca hubieran estado separados. A los 3 meses, Carlitos sorprendió a Luisa un día con un anillo de compromiso, diciéndole que quería pasar el resto de su vida con ella. Luisa estaba sorprendida por este acto inesperado, pero aceptó porque nunca había dejado de querer a su primer novio. A real love story. Luisa and Carlos met each other since young. Their relationship began when Carlitos asked Luisa to accompany him to his school graduation dance. It was the last year of his studies and soon, it was the last year of their studies and soon the two would go on to study medicine. She in the US and he in Cuba. Because of being in different countries, the relationship began to deteriorate and they decided that they couldn't continue a long-distance relationship. Upon ending their studies, Luisa continued a relationship by correspondence or by writing letters, but as friends. Upon ending, this is his studies, Carlitos also returned to his country and he went to work in the same hospital as Luisa. They began to go out together again, and it was as if they had never separated. 3 months later, Carlitos surprised Luisa one day with an engagement ring, saying to her that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. Luisa was surprised by this unexpected act, but she accepted because she had never stopped loving her first boyfriend, which was Carlitos, by the way, in case you were wondering. Nice. So the answers. Number 1, when did the relationship begin with these two? Suitable response. And look at the instructions. Answer in English questions and use a complete sentence for each response, right? So, when did the relationship between these two begin? The relationship began when Carlos asked Luisa to accompany him to his school graduation. So, including Carlos asked Luisa to accompany him and including school graduation gives you the 2 marks. Those phrases, very important. Not just accompany him, but accompany him where. So what was asked and where did they go? Those answering those 2 things gives you 2 marks. Nice? Question B. Explain their plans after leaving high school. Their plans, Luisa will study medicine in the US and Carlos will study medicine in Cuba. So stating those 2 facts, where Luisa going? Well, where Luisa is going to study what? And where Carlos is going to study what? That is where the 2 marks are given, right? See what happened as a result of being apart. As a result of being apart, their relationship deteriorated. So those two pieces of information, sorry, this should be in green. So I'm showing a marks up for mark 1, mark 2, mark 1, mark 2, mark 1, mark 2. So the first mark in yellow, the second mark in green. Each mark is color-coded, basically. The things that need to be included, right? Question D. What decision did they make? They decided they could not continue a long-distance relationship, right? So including those pieces of information, not continue the relationship, a long-distance relationship, including those pieces of information will give you the marks. E. What did Louisa do when she finished her studies for 2 marks? Louisa returned home and began to work in the general hospital. Returning home and working in the general hospital gives you your 2 marks, including those pieces of information. Question F. What kind of relationship did they continue? They continued their relationship through correspondence as friends. So you could have said they continued a friendship through correspondence, right? Including those 2 pieces of information, friendship and correspondence. Long time when you say write somebody a correspondence, meaning you write them a letter, right? So the word correspondence, or you could have even used letter, it could have been used, right? Question G. What happened when Carlitos returned home? When Carlitos returned home, he went to work in the same hospital as Louisa. So working in the same hospital, and who? The same hospital as who? Including that information. Who here is Louisa? That gives you the 2 marks. Let me check in with you all. We following so far? We understanding how CXC goes about assigning these marks? We following so far? The color scheme and everything helping? Nice. I'm seeing yeses going down the line. Let me just check in with my YouTube peeps. I have Angeli moderating the YouTube for me. Nice. On YouTube, we good as well. Nice. We continuing with question H. What did Carlitos give her after 3 months? Engagement ring. Carlitos gave her an engagement ring. 1 mark for stating that it was an engagement ring. You notice it's 2 words or a phrase, but 1 mark for stating that thing, right? What did he say to her? 2 marks. He said he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. Spend the rest of his life with her, including those things, give you the 2 marks. Nice. And finally, explain the significance of the title. So usually, I don't know if you all notice, but the questions, the order of the questions go or correspond with the order where the information was given in the passage. So, question number 1, the answer was found early in the passage. And question number 2, as you go down, the answer there, go down, etc. like that, right? So it's in order like that. It's in an order in. Similarly, most times the answer for the last one, which is the appreciative type question, we get some hints at answering it at the end of the passage as well. So at the end of the passage, it says that after 3 months, Carlitos surprised her with her engagement ring, saying to her that he wanted to spend the rest of her life with her. She was surprised by this unexpected act, but she accepted because she had never stopped loving her boyfriend. She accepted because she never stopped loving her first boyfriend. Although she was surprised, it was unexpected. And the title is A Real Love Story. So what kind of response we could give to indicate here that we understood, we appreciated, and to get our full 3 marks? The title, A Real Love Story, is used to describe the type of relationship, true love. It was real love, right? The characters had. Why was it true love? Because there were challenges in the relationship. They had to be separated. The relationship had to be changed from boyfriend and girlfriend to just friends because it began to deteriorate with time. So there were challenges challenges in the relationship. When they reached back together, it is said that it was as if they had never stopped being together. In other words, it stood the test of time. Their love stood the test of time. It's almost like if they press pause and play on a relationship. In other words, it stood the test of time and the feelings remained intact. As it is said here, she never stopped loving him. So how many pieces of information I included? 1 in yellow, 2 in green, 3 in a kind of turquoise. I'll learn my colors all, yeah? And 4 in blue, but for 3 marks. So anything along these lines, any type of answer along these lines that uses any kind of words like this to describe your answer, to give your answer, anything along those lines gives us the 3 marks, ladies and gents. So I checked in before you all understood. Once again, any questions? ¿Tenemos preguntas? ¿Hay preguntas? Anybody has any questions they want to ask? Chloe says, no, sir. No, sir. All right. So, no preguntas. Muy bien. All right. So, ladies and gents, we have reached the official end of our class today, our free class. Yeah. Adios. But I'm not going to just run just so. Right? Before we go, we'll be seeing you all next week. And remember to invite a friend. There's a link for the study group. If you're not a part of the study group as yet, you need to join. So join the study group, right? The link is there. Check our social medias. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, Profe Weeks. Profe Weeks on TikTok. We're on all the different channels. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everything. So check us out there if you're not following us already. Join the study group to get daily snippets, because remember I said there's little bits, one drop every day. That's how you develop yourself in the language, right? Not doing a mammoth effort close to exams, but a little bit every day. And I'm deliberately giving enough information to not make you neglect your other subjects. I'm not giving you a whole bunch of things and you end up studying Spanish alone and not the other things. Am I sharing the story? If it is a go in the study group, you will receive the notes from today, the PowerPoint from today, etc. By next week, during the course of the week that is coming, we'll be posting the video on YouTube. So look out for it, guys. Last call, any questions? Don't forget to invite a friend. Before we officially go, let me hear, how was the class, ladies and gents? How you would describe the class? If you were to describe the class in one word, what would you use? English or Spanish? If you were to describe the class in one word today, what word would we use to describe the class, the session today? Let me get some feedback. Muy interesante. Good. Divertida. Bien. Muy bien. Gracias, chicos. Refreshing. Refreshing, Joshua. All right. Nice. Asombroso. Nice. I see you pulling out all the wonderful Spanish words. So, guys, Joshua said the class was refreshing. It was better than his teacher in school. I ain't gonna tell you who his teacher in school is, by the way. Joshua has jokes. Nice. So, guys, as I say, invite a friend. We're looking forward to seeing the same names next week. Because we live, I don't expect you all to put on your camera and have your face all over the internet. Leave that for me, right? Adiós, nos vemos y hablamos muy pronto. Ciao, bye for now.